Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and this is Radical Academy. My name is Wanamai. So if you're new to this channel, please make sure that you do subscribe to my channel, like and also share. So in this video, I'm going to teach you about blood groups and also mutation. Okay, so for some of you that are watching this video for the first time, please, there is already some videos on genetics, okay, some past papers that I've solved on genetics. So if you want to understand what maybe blood groups or even mutations are about, I encourage you to go and check out my videos so that you can even gain more understanding. Okay, so now let's dive into this. Okay, so now the most important to understand when it comes to blood groups. So when it comes to blood groups, you have to know before you get in an exam that we have, let's just say, 4 different kinds of blood group or blood types. Okay, and these blood types are okay. So now these are some of the blood groups that we must know before we get in an exam. So we have blood group A and blood group B, AB, and also O. So now there is also an aspect of when it comes to immunity. Okay, there is an idea that blood group O is not actually strong, or rather the people that are in blood group O are vulnerable to many diseases, or their immune system is normally weak, because what this means is that blood group O does not have what is called the antigens that can be invoked whenever the foreign or pathogens or the foreign materials gets into our blood system. Therefore, most of the majority of the people that are in blood group O, they kind of get sick most of the time, and this simply means that any disease that comes along the way, they might be infected because their blood group O doesn't have some kind of mechanism to defend such pathogen or materials. Blood group A, B, and AB. Okay, these have got the antigens for different kind of that can be invoked whenever they attacked or our body is attacked. So if you're in blood group A, it simply means that you are going to have the antigens for those for that particular blood group, which is going to be protected, which means that the antigens are more or like the molecules that are going to now defend you whenever you attacked or you get infected from different kind of disease. Of course, that does not necessarily mean that you cannot get sick. So once you understand the blood group, these blood groups, okay, then for your own information, blood group O is normally called the universal donor. Okay, so because it can be acceptable or it can be accepted by any of the other blood group when, for example, someone is donating blood to other people that need blood. Okay. However, we cannot donate this one to this one. Okay. Now, when it comes to genetics, okay, so when we are indicating the alleles, okay, when it comes to blood group, we use the I, okay, so you can say IA, okay, maybe IB, and also IO. Okay, So now what this means is that blood group A, when you are showing, when it comes to genetical diagram, you can really actually use the I. Of course, this has no biological meaning, but this is just a convention way of actually showing blood groups when it comes to genetical representation. Okay, so you can do that. Okay. So now, what normally happens is that when you talk about blood group A and B, okay, A, B, and O, okay, so remember that genes are in pairs, okay, so the genes are in pairs. So this one, since this blood group A, okay, can actually receive this one, okay, so you can have, it can occur as this one, okay, and this one can occur with that one, because normally this O is normally what is called recessive. Okay, normally O is what is usually called recessive, more or less so recessive blood group. So it is less power because it is normally what can I say? It is hidden. Okay. Okay. So and these are dominant. Okay. Dominant, something like that. Now, what happens? Let's say your child is born from a certain family, okay? You're born from a certain family, and what could be your blood group, okay? So it is about knowing the blood group of my parents, okay? Because for me to come out as the son or even the daughter, I was conceived by the meeting up of the female person as well as the male person, and then I was formed as a cell, and then I get to develop by some biological process until to this point. So which means that I have also inherited in terms of characteristic when it comes to blood group, I've also inherited some certain blood groups. Therefore, in the next minute, I'm going to actually show you how can you be in blood group O or A or even B, okay? But whichever of the blood group that you can be in, I just want to show you how everything happens, how we inherit these blood groups. Okay, so keep watching. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is how the inheritance of blood groups, of the blood group, how it happens, okay? Now, you can imagine that this is sex is happening in sexual intercourse between two people. So they are going to have a child, and that child is going to actually inherit, is going to actually resemble them, or maybe look similar like one of the parent, father or the mother. So it's because that child, he or she inherited those genes in terms of the blood group, in terms of the eye color, in terms of skin color, in terms of different features on the body of the daughter cell, or even just you as an offspring. Okay. So let's say the most important thing to understand is you have the parents, that is male and female. Okay. Okay. So now we have that. Okay. So once you have that kind of you start off with the parents, so the male and also the female. So now what you're going to do is we are going to have now understand what are phenotypes. Now phenotypes is something that you're able to observe externally. Okay, so if you're able to observe that you're light in complexion, you are dark in complexion, those features, they mean phenotypes. Okay, so now these phenotypes, they actually have some of the inbuilt, okay, so if you see me that like a light person, like a colored person, or even like a dark person, is because there's something that is causing, okay, or there is a gene that is responsible for such kind of feature to appear outside on me. Okay, so let's say the male is in okay, so now we are going to say that the male is in group A in terms of blood, and the female is in blood group B. So then, what next step? So make sure this is a genetical diagram in terms of genetics that we must really understand. Okay. So now, when it comes to the genotypes, so the genotypes, these are now the actual makeup of blood group A, the actual makeup of blood group B. Okay, so these genotypes, these are actually just the genetic makeup of an organism. Okay, so what makes up your skin color? We are going to represent it in a biological way, okay, to understand that this represents blood group A, or to understand that this represents blood group B. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so let's continue. So you're going to have blood group. So remember, you always use the I. Okay, so now the next step now is to show the blood groups that represent blood group A and also B. Now what happened is that why are we putting the blood group O? So we are putting the blood group O because the O is a universal donor. Okay, so when you say you're in blood group A, it simply means that you also can receive blood group blood from the person who is in group O, or who has a blood type O. So that is the more reason why we are including the O, because it is a universal donor. Okay. So now what's going to happen now is that we are going to, now what is going to happen is so we are going to separate them. So now what is happening now is that once you see them, I've written meiosis, okay? So meiosis is a type of cell division, okay, that result in two different, daughter cells, okay? And in terms of this now, what we are saying again is that we now get ready this, let's say for example, the sperm cell is trying to be separated, okay? So if you think of this as in terms of the sperms, and then within the sperms there is a lot of different things that you can think of, like within the nucleus, the DNA, you can think of there's blood types, there is a skin color type, there is the height type, there is the eye color type, and there is all sorts of these blueprints about the human being, okay? But we are talking about the blood group or blood type that's going to actually be inherited, okay? So we are imagining that these people are having sex, and it's a marriage couple, and they're trying to have a child, and we are just trying to understand what kind of the children in terms of blood group, okay? So in terms of blood group, so we are trying to do this with an idea that there's a sperm that's going to be released, and then it's going to actually fertilize the egg and stuff like that. So make sure that you comprehend that, okay? So that is what you're just talking about, okay? So if you are lost. Okay, so what's going to happen is that this is male is going to actually start striking now. So imagine that this is an egg, let's say the sperm cell strikes the egg, and that our child, okay, our child is going to be with this kind of blood group, okay, and also this one can actually go with that one. So it's gonna actually be blood group A and blood group O. So we are just trying to read what is there, okay? And after this one is done, has exhausted all its possibilities, two possibilities, then we can have this one. So this one is going to be this. Okay. So now what has happened is that we are starting now to fertilize, okay? The child is now born, okay? So imagine that the child, the wife has delivered the baby, and if, let's say, if you were going to have 4 children, okay, we decided we're going to have 4 children, then these 4 children, each one of them is going to be in these kind of blood groups, okay? And what was happening right there is what is called fertilization, okay? So what is happening there is now called fertilization, okay? So fertilization is happening, okay? So the result of fertilization is a zygote, okay? So this is a zygote, and the zygote has got is going to actually just inherit different things, okay? And now, what is this? So these genotypes, okay? These are genotypes of okay. So now these are genotypes of the offsprings, okay? So they are the genotypes of the offsprings. So this means that what about the phenotypes, okay? So the phenotypes now is going to describe the actual observation, okay, once we know the genetic or the genetical makeup of these children, the 4 children, okay? So in this case, this is, so AB, so this is just blood group AB, okay? Then this is just blood group B, then this is just blood group O, and this is just blood group what? A. So now what you're doing now is that we are just trying to get to read off what is this saying. So this is blood group AB, and this is blood group B. Now, why have we said that it is just blood group B? Okay, it's because the O is normally objectively taken to be recessive, and something that is recessive is actually masked. Okay, it is masked as if it does not exist. So we try to ignore it, and we just kind of get the B. And then the O, so this is OO, so this is just simply as blood group O. Okay, and then also this one AO, same applies to that. Okay, so when you are in that kind of a blood type, okay, blood group type, then if you are in AO, you're just in A, because the O is recessive, and when it is in that combination, it is more or less, it doesn't exist, okay? And we just kind of right blood group A. So this is how the inheritance of blood group actually occurs. Okay, and now the other thing that you need to understand is that the inheritance of a blood group is normally also an example of what we call discontinuous variation. Okay, so make sure you understand that. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and for those that have not subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you do subscribe so that you get more information to once you watch the video, you can ask any question that you want, and I'm able to respond to you even via WhatsApp 4964 460218. So you can kind of post your comment or a question in the comment box. And wherever you're watching from, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and even other platforms, social media platforms. So thank you so much once again, and this is a Radko Academy. See you in the next video.